right, yo. We was talking about 360s.
Yeah.
Tell me, man, what's up with these labels, yo? With these 360s, is it because they, do they want to just make more money?
No, it's the 360 record deal is the record industry's last ditch effort to try to salvage some sort of relevance.
Okay.
And it's basically what 360 means is we're taking all your revenue generating streams. Old record contracts used to be based off the records themselves.
Right.
So if you put out a record if you put a record, they would take a big chunk of the profit on the record, a big chunk of the money on the record, and then you'd get your, if you had a decent deal, you get your $1, $2, whatever, what have you, per record, and so forth, so on, after you recouped your advance. Now, because there's no one buying any records and CDs, that what the labels are doing is signing the artists to these 360 deals where they basically take a chunk of everything that you make, that you generate.
Touring too?
Touring especially.
Right.
And the problem with the touring, the thing that's fundamentally wrong with the touring is that, okay, I would be open as an artist to giving them a percentage of my touring, providing they were doing anything to help facilitate the tour. But they're not running the tour. You still have to hire booking agents. You still have to go get a touring company. If they were to do that, which they can't in a lot of states because that's illegal, but if they were doing that, if they were offering that service, then it's like, okay, yeah, you should get a piece of that, obviously. But they don't do that. They just sit at home, and it's usually a clause. And clauses are hilarious because it's usually a clause where it's at any point within the time of the contract, the label can write you a check for X amount of money in exchange for 30% of your touring revenue.
Really?
So, like, if you get huge and they know that your tour, you're about to go out on a huge year-long tour, and you're going to rack up. You're going to probably a stadium tour. And you're going to bring in, $60 million in tour. They will say, they will exercise that clause, which is usually like, here's a check for $200,000, and we want 30% of your touring revenue.
But now is the artist still paying for their own tours?
Yeah.
I mean, is this a? You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
Because touring.
It's money for nothing. Yes.
Okay.
It's money for nothing.
Because it was a time when the artists paid for their own tour.
Right.
So that they can collect their own revenue.
Right. So of course. That was a totally... it was basically like a whole separate business. Yeah. And obviously some of the record labels negotiated things where... they would get a piece of your merchandising and stuff because, justly so, if the label helped make you into a star... It was fair. It's fair to
get a percentage.
Yeah, for them to get a percentage, but because the physical sales are dried up, which was the label's always been that's their source of revenue. But now that that's not there anymore, this is their last ditch. And I have several friends who are under contract with 360 deals, and they really didn't have a choice.
Really. So it was either sign a deal,
or keep trying doing it yourself,
or go back on the underground.
Yeah.
See, now that's jacked up.
And this is industry wide. This isn't just rap. This is.
Well, they said. Well, from what I understand, Jay-Z started with that Live Nation deal. But now, was this secretly going on? Was this going on before that whole Jay-Z just signed?
I don't think so. I mean, perhaps there have been contracts that. I mean, I'm sure that they've been getting progressively.
Right.
They've obviously the contracts. The first contract you get is never a good one. You should never sign your first contract you should get a lawyer and have them negotiate. I mean, even the deal we did with 50 Cent, I mean, even just the declaration, we had to go back and forth 3 or 4 times. Not even the long form agreement. The declaration itself, we were like, my lawyer was not comfortable with. Really? Yeah, so so you got to go back and forth. You got to because they're going to see if you're stupid, if you're dumb enough to sign the first draft.
Sign the first one, right. And now, but now, isn't that the trick, though? I mean, because, how you say it took you how long, how many months to get the final draft that everyone's happy,
Oh, as far as just for the declaration, that
Right.
took 6 weeks. But I mean, it wouldn't have taken so long had they not pushed the album back. Because originally, you know, they were going to put that album out, and then they decided to put Eminem's album out first.
Yeah.
So now that it's not coming out till like summer, end of summer, they started taking their time on it. And so my lawyer was like, "What the hell?"
Right.
So finally, yeah, it just got done. But,
see, but now, for those that don't know, what's the average time? Because, you know, of course it can take, varies between, you know,
I would have probably taken it probably that was just, that's a production deal. That's a 5-page agreement. A record contract looks like a book.
Of course it's 50.
Yeah, 50 you know, but I mean a record contract. One of my best friends just signed a deal, and she was talking about, she got the offer in October and signed it over the Christmas holiday.
Really?
So like that's how long it took.
That's wild.
Yeah,
that's wild, and that's on the fast track. That's not even, you know, just kind of well, it's not, like you said, it's not coming out. So
especially now, because the contracts are getting even longer, because there's such a huge question mark over what. So there's so many things you got to deal with now. Digital sales, ringtones, all this stuff. That's like, you know, where is this money? You know, we got to deal with all these different things. So there's a page and a half on each one.
See, and that's crazy, man. I mean, you know, I'm looking, and we still